When I was 15 years old, I found out I am not Johnny Cash. It was a shock. Yes, maybe you too thought you were Johnny Cash. Well, you're not. The problem is, when you start songwriting, we all want to be our hero, be the person you think is great, and that's how we want to start and be just like them. Well, it didn't work out. Hey, Mad Jack here for creating in the second half of life. All of us over 40 or 50 or 60 or whatever. Uh, Talk about songwriting today, obviously, and there's some things I learned. I guess you'd say the hard way. Not really the hard way, but I learned these things and they help me. And when you get done with this video, I'd like you to go listen to my song that's on the channel, Horizons, one I wrote a while back that's been professionally recorded and stuff, and see what you think of. I got some other ones I'm bringing up pretty soon, but I want you to listen to this because I'm not a better songwriter than millions of other people, but I do some different things in my technique. That have been very helpful for me. Maybe they'll help you. I think they will if you look at some of these things. Let's talk about the mistakes that I've made. And the first one is the one we just talked about. I call it perfectionism because you look at a Johnny Cash or a Willie Nelson or a Burt Bacharach. It depends what time. Maybe it's Snoop Dogg when you're writing songs and you look at it, oh, I'm going to write like that. And you try to write like these people, and I guess you can to some extent. But the reality is you got to write like yourself. And you get to thinking everything's got to be perfect about the song. And that's not the case at all. If you really look at some of these songs written by these guys, they're not perfect. They got flaws in it. Johnny Cash, you should go back and listen to Johnny Cash at Sun Records when he first started. I think some of his best stuff, all mistakes and errors and things you hear that make you realize that he was just as human as we are. So perfectionism is something you want to stay away from. Just grab, like I have, my old guitar, if you play one. And if you don't play one, grab the instrument you play. If you don't have an instrument you play the song in your head. Now, that recording device is going all the time. Number two is simplicity. And I'm going through these kind of quick, but simplicity, which is the opposite of perfectionism, is really how you write the song. Think of some of the greatest songs of all time in your mind, and that's a subjective thing. Everybody has their own song that they like the best. And think about it. And most of the songs are pretty simple, even the really famous ones. So simplicity is very important to stay with that. And number three, and this is the big one, I think, of all of them, is story is king. I think story in a song is paramount to keep people's attention when you're a songwriter. And I think once you realize that you can look around you and find any topic you want. Maybe you want to write love songs. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not a big love song guy. Most of my songs are kind of sarcastic, kind of funny. Some of the titles are like Liquored Up in Love. Obviously, you can call it a love song. Probably not. Horizons, which is on my channel here, is probably the most serious song I've ever written in my life. But I prefer the funny ones. So story is king. You can get your story. It's kind of like you're going to write a chapter in a book, get a little rhyme to it, and you'd be surprised how good your song can turn out. And the next one is don't afraid to be vulnerable. And when I say that, if you're going to be songwriting, you're going to have to put some things out there and let people hear it. If you want them to hear it, you can write for yourself. I would think you'd want people to hear it. So you got to do some things out there and let people hear what you've done. That kind of makes you vulnerable to people obviously think, oh, hell, that sucks. That's shit. Or it could be the opposite. That's pretty nice. That's a pretty good song. I enjoyed that. But I will tell you this, there's very few things in life to me that give me the enjoyment of producing a song or anything that I've created and find that it has brought someone else some joy, happiness, a smile, or just some relaxing time to listen to. I think that's been a big deal for me. I think it will be for you too. So those are four of the things. And the fifth thing is, it kind of goes with vulnerable, but don't be scared and don't think your voice is going to make a big deal. I am not a vocalist. I'm not. But I've sang for years. I sang with a few bands when I was young, and I've sang since then. I sing all the time. I work in a hospital, and I walk up down the hallway singing. And people always say, "Oh, you're so happy, you're always singing and stuff." But not one person has ever said to me, "Man, you're the next Dean Martin." Never happens. Probably because my voice ain't that good. But when you're writing a song, you got to use your voice. You got to put it out there. And so let's take a minute here and let's talk about that. Let's talk about these things we talk about. Forget the perfection, use simplicity, story is king. Gonna be vulnerable here, and don't be afraid and don't worry about your voice. So if we were going to have a story, let's think about something that you've seen that you want to write a song about. If you play the guitar, you can use some very basic chords. That's what I would suggest. Just do something very simple. And when you do that, you can kind of get the story to flow for you. I'll tell you how to get the rhyme later if you're worried about the rhyme and stuff. But I'm going to give you a little example here. Now remember, I'm not a good singer, but I ain't shy. So this is actually a story about a young man I know who was in prison and got busted for marijuana many years ago, did quite a little time for it. And so when you write a story inside your song, sometimes you change a few of the words around and stuff and make it kind of so it's a little more interesting to listen to. If you wrote a song that said, "I got busted with pot, and that's all I got, and they locked me up," it's not quite the same. So this song, I'm just going to pick out the first verse for you. And you see where I'm going on it. Now remember, my voice is not that good. In fact, it's probably not good at all. But I want you to get the idea. About a young guy who is arrested by the feds for marijuana. Well, I was working in my garden when Uncle Sam came by one day. He pulled a gun, I raised my hands, and he took my crop away. He said, "You can't be growing hemp, I'm gonna throw your ass in jail." And then he patted, cuffed, and he threw me down, took every stem and every bale. Okay, that's the first verse. Now that's about the guy. You picture it, you can see it. It's a story. The guy was out in his field getting his marijuana and stuff, and Uncle Sam, which obviously the feds swarmed in on him and busted him, take his pot, handcuff him, take him away. Now the song's got two more stages. The one is in court, and then the next one is he's in prison down in Texas, and of course you have to have the chorus in there. So that's the beginning of the story right there. So that's the first verse. So I've combined two verses before I have the chorus, but I'm going to do the second verse for you right now. I'm going to see what you think of this. Now he's in court, okay? "I had a woman judge who hated men. She'd been married 6 damn times. She couldn't take it out on her old man's ass, so she took it out on mine. Sent me down this dry run creek they call the Rio Grande, to this worthless spot nobody wants out in the Texas sand." So that's the second verse. So we get one verse, two verses, storyline, guy busted with pot. Now he's in front of a judge. He is certain that he told me she didn't like men. So now that's in the story too. So we add those two verses. Now we get to the point where you kind of add that chorus in. You need some kind of a chorus in there. He's down in Texas. The chorus is going to be repetitive. What are we going to put in there to make it go with the rest of it? This is what I came up with. It goes, "And they're killing folks in wars. There's a drug war on TV. And I'm just a little pot farmer. What the hell they want with me?" Now we'll go to the third verse. "Now I'm a living with these Tex-Mex gangs, some Crips and Aryan guys. And if they ever all get pissed at once, you can kiss my ass goodbye. And I'm the only one without tattoos and with a head of hair. Some fella stabbed his friend last night just for sitting in his chair. And they're killing folks in Juarez. There's a drug war on TV. And I'm just a little pot farmer. What the hell they want with me?" So There's another verse, another chorus to it, but I'm trying to get this point across to you. So what we've got a story we put into the song. Now, will the song ever go anywhere? Maybe not. I like the song because I know the guy and it kind of fits. You play it back a little bit. Obviously, this is not professional recording of it, but it gives you an idea what we're talking about. So get your guitar or your instrument or your pen and a piece of paper and the music in your head and come up with something that you see, something that will inspire you a little bit, and write the damn song and save it. Don't let it fall to crap because you're trying to be perfect. That song ain't perfect. That song's simple. First two rules. Perfectionism, no. Simplicity, yes. Story is king. Song's got a story. Don't afraid to be vulnerable. I'm out here singing a song in front of you, and I don't even know you. You don't even know me, so that's kind of vulnerable. And I'm not afraid to put my voice out there, and I'm not doing that to put the voice out to make you think I'm a rock star. I'm showing you how you write a song, and you got to do it. You kind of got to vocalize it. Um, Next time we get together, we'll probably finish the song, and I'll show you how to write a little more serious side. Now, that song was just basic. If you're playing guitar, that's your C, F, and G chords. That's all that is. It's very basic. So you're familiar with the guitar, you know what I'm talking about there. We'll talk more about how to get your rhythm and things later on. But you gotta sit down and do it. Write about what you see. Maybe there's something out the window you see. Maybe you've got an aunt that's coming to your house for some birthday party and she drives you nuts. Or maybe you witness something at work and you think it's that. Or maybe you're madly in love with your spouse or a girlfriend or boyfriend, and hopefully not all at the same time. Put that in a song. Maybe if you are in love with all of the same time, that might be even a better song. Who knows? Uh, so again, next time we're going to get here, do a little more fun stuff. This is Mad Jack creating in the second half of life. Let's go enjoy this stuff later.